Good evening, everyone. This is Regina Fanuliar, Scholarship Director from YFPA, your Filipino Professionals Association, and happy Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. We are very honored to have Chef Dominic Ainza that's going to be cooking with us and going to be showing us how to cook chicken adobo, which is, I think, actually going to be a first for me. I got my mom here in the kitchen helping me out as well. This event is free. We also have a fundraising raffle today as well. We're going to have some tickets that you can purchase online and be able to purchase some really awesome prizes, which I'll share in a little bit. So thank you everyone for joining us today. Next slide, please. Just to tell you a little bit about YFPA, we were founded in 2002, so we're actually coming up on our 20th year anniversary, and our mission is to foster relationships and the exchange of professional ideas and expertise in order to increase collaboration and cooperation amongst Filipinos. The three founders actually started the association in 2002. That was during the whole dot-com crash. And they were over going to school at USF and decided to start the Young Filipino Professionals Association. And we had actually changed our name to Your Filipino Professionals Association, I believe, about 5 years ago. So we're really excited to come across our 20th year anniversary coming up next year. So thanks for supporting YPA. And our core values to connect, educate, and serve. As far as connecting, like we have regular mixers. We've had them in person in the past, and now we pivoted online and here with you today virtually through Zoom. Educate, we've had professional development workshops in person, online, and we also started our scholarship program in 2014 and been awarding scholars ever since. And as far as serve, we've been volunteering with our community partners and within the community as well. So scholarship program supports Bay Area graduating high school students involved in the Filipino community, and they've been accepted to four-year college and pursuing a bachelor's degree. So scholarship committee, thanks to you, we had just selected our two scholars recently. We'll be announcing that soon and be having a scholarship awards event coming up the next couple of months. So appreciate if you guys can donate towards the raffle today, because our funds will be going towards the scholarship program as well. Next event is coming up on Wednesday, the 26th at 6 p.m. We're going to have an online self-defense class with the Skabodan. As you know, there's a lot going on right now with Asian hate in the community throughout the US, throughout the world. We want to be able to support those and, give you some knowledge on how to defend yourselves if you happen to come across certain situations anywhere out in public. So please join us. That's next week on May 26th. You can check out the online donated prices for tickets through yfpa.sf.com. So, and that's also hosted with Faster as well. So thank you, Faster and Escabdon, for helping us with the self-defense course. So for the raffle tickets, there's different ways that you can support YPA. We have a shop that's online. We actually have one of the raffle items going to be given away today. And you also support our scholarship program by purchasing the raffle tickets. And Jordan, do we have some of the prizes listed here too? So excellent prizes. We've got a DoorDash gift card for $50 from Allstate. And we also have a t-shirt from our YFPA shop. And next slide, please. Thank you, Sam Bucklini, for the DoorDash card. And then Tita Pearl, if you guys haven't heard of Tita Pearl, she is like one of the founders of Pistahan. That's been around for several years in San Francisco, but she has donated 24 empanadas, 2 pancit balabon, and crab and shrimp bagoong. And she's also donated, I think, a couple other things here. She's got the banana ketchup, the cocoa mango vinegar, and I think there was one more thing from her, or maybe I'm missing it. And Chef Dominic is actually going to be donating a personal cooking lesson. So if you get to win his raffle prize, you'll be cooking just like him with a cooking lesson. So any other prizes there? All right. So Please purchase the tickets. We'll put the link in the chat soon for you to purchase. We're going to cut off the raffle at 6:45, so we have time to pull the tickets, and you'll see the names as we call them out for the winners. So wanted to introduce our host, chef today, this Chef Dominic. I first came across Chef Dominic when Yfpa had a lot of our events over at Mercury Lounge back in the day. Some of you may have remembered him. He had the most amazing sisig nachos, which I'm still craving today. Fortunately, Mercury Lounge isn't around, but Chef Dominic still is. He's a well-known Bay Area restaurant chef in the Asian American culinary scene, and he's worked at award-winning restaurants including Betelnut, Red Lantern, and Addict. So I am going to go ahead and pass it off over to Chef Dominic, as he's going to teach us how to make some chicken adobo today, Chef Dominic style.
I don't know if it's my style, but it's a style.
Thank you, Chef Dominic. It's so good to have you. It's good to reconnect with you. It's been a long time.
Yeah, definitely. It went from youth to yore, so that's how long it's been.
Yes, but we're still young at heart, for sure.
Yes, yes, definitely. Let me switch over here. You know, when we talk about adobo, we talk about food or even Filipino food in general, we're talking about kind of not just the food itself or what you're eating and what you're having for lunch or what you're having for dinner, but everyone that's made it from before you and where it came from. The people that kind of, you know, took the trip to bring it over here for themselves and not just kind of like, you know, a traditional dish, but it's their history, their tradition. We, you know, adobo is kind of, you know, when we talk about it, it's, you know, it's a style of cooking. You adobo it, you cook it with kind of in vinegar. And, you know, for this dish, we are making kind of a basic adobo, and what, you know, what the general rule for everybody here is to kind of make it your own. How can you, you know, I can give you the start of a basic recipe, but how can you make it yours so you can, you know, what did you learn from your mom or from your ancestors, or what are you going to take and teach to your kids? You know, those are the things that, you know, when we talk, especially when we're talking about Filipino food in a country that's not the Philippines, we're talking about the legacy of it and how it came about and how it came over here. And so it's the journey, you know, it's not the food, but it's the journey, kind of the, you know, the recipe of it, not only just the, you know, the ingredients itself, but it's what's in it. And that's what, you know, that's what we're talking about when we talk about kind of recipes and cooking Filipino food. We're talking about tradition, and that's the main kind of thing that we do with it. And so let's kind of really simple. Let's get started over here.
So you got the recipe there for us that's showing on the screen. You want to make any comments on the ingredients?
No, well, yeah, I think we were prepared for one thing, and then I realized I sent the wrong recipe. Not that it's bad, but we can, you know, if we have time, we can do both really quick. It's a really, you know, the other one's a really simple dish. And so basically what we're going to show you today is a really kind of basic adobo. And like I said, basic is, you know, it's an extreme name for something that's really not that basic, you know, but it is kind of the simple ingredients where you can just kind of take what we have here and just kind of make it your own. So when we start, we always kind of have, you know, I like onions in mine. It adds a little sweetness, but you know, if we go basic ingredients or the kind of the simple ingredients, we're always talking about garlic, bay leaf and peppercorns, vinegar, soy sauce, you know. And so what I like to do generally is kind of cook that first. We're going to kind of start with that, because when we talk about kind of chicken, cooking chicken, it does take, you know, a pretty, it's a quick cook. And so, you know, so let's kind of get started real quick, you know. So we have onions, and I use red, I can use white, it doesn't really matter. It does add a sweetness to it, and that's what you're looking for from the onions. And so, and then even for this, let's kind of get it started on the pan.
Is it better to use red onions?
Where are the onions, people? Eric, where are the onions?
Someone's looking for the onions. I think, Chai, you got your speaker on. I think we have to mute Chai. Hold on a second. I was going to say, hold on a second. Okay, I just muted her. Is there a preference to red onions versus white
No,
onions?
I think it just becomes a matter of what you have available sometimes too, because it's just kind of it's a general dish, so you don't
Yeah.
necessarily have to be picky about what you put in it.
All right.
And so, and I'm not too picky. I like red. I buy red onions. I buy white onions. I have them both kind of at the same time as a staple kind of in the house.
Cool.
So
And we should have the pan warm now.
starting to heat up because what we're gonna do is start sautéing the onions,
All
and then
right.
after that we're gonna start sautéing the garlic too.
All right.
Adding a little bit of oil.
Does it matter what kind of oil?
No, just like a neutral oil. I don't like necessarily cooking with olive oil too much, but I usually use it as like a finish. And so that's when I usually kind of use the olive oil. But I can use like like a 50-50 olive oil or regular oil, but you don't want anything with too much flavor on this because you're going to get your flavor from your vinegar and your soy sauce.
I'm looking in my cabinet. I've got sesame oil. Is that not good?
That's not good. Corn oil, vegetable oil, any kind of oil that you gotta, that you can.
Okay, cool.
Olive oil's fine. I mean, I wouldn't even say don't use it. I just for me, I don't use it in this particular case.
Grapeseed oil?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I'm like, I don't know what's in my kitchen right now.
Sorry, that's my dog.
All right, and then you got the onions going.
Yeah. And it's just like, we just want to saute it down. And what you're trying to do is just kind of release everything from the onions, because you're going to get it out of the water when when you braise it too, but this kind of helps kind of bring it down, cook it down a little bit more. Because once you're not going to get this high a temperature in liquid. It's only going to go to kind of boiling. So you're only talking about kind of like, 212.
Okay. Is anyone else cooking along other than me? All right, Charity's cooking too. Did you find your onions, Charity?
I did. I didn't realize I was off mute.
It's okay.
I'm like, honey, where are the onions?
Found my onions too. Thanks for joining.
This is so fun.
You remember at our last networking event, we were just talking about a cooking event, and I think it was you and Gloria that had mentioned chicken adobo.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I can't cook it. So Chef Dominic, I can't wait.
And then we're just going to chop the garlic.
Chopped garlic.
You can pound it, you can press it, you can, there's really kind of.
Does it matter if it's like small pieces or chunky pieces?
You want it nice and kind of, a little bit smaller, nothing too chunky. Because, you're going to get kind of a bite into it, but you also want it to kind of, spread around a little bit too.
So my mom loves garlic. If you put like too much garlic, is it going to ruin the...
No, the more the merrier. Bring it all into the party.
She's going to enjoy that.
And like I was saying, these are just kind of simple, basic ingredients, and you can always make it yours after. Once you know kind of how to make it once, then you start making it how you like to make it. You don't like garlic, add less. You want a little bit more, add more. Onions, you don't want onions, just take it out. It's at least you know from the start what you're getting.
Right.
And then I'm going to add the garlic.
Starting to smell good. So Chef Dominic, do you want to tell people what you are doing now? I know you're not working at the restaurants anymore, but you're working somewhere else that's really cool.
I'm a corporate chef at Facebook now, so we're just kind of all gearing up to come back to work soon.
So you haven't been cooking at Facebook for this whole pandemic?
You know what? I haven't been working at work. I've been working from home, and what I've been doing from working from home is pretty much this, kind of doing demos for teams, and then kind of making some cooking videos for, we're starting to develop, more recipes because a lot more people are starting to work from home now too. So we want to have this kind of resource for our workers to have some videos on how to cook some food and some basic cooking instructions as well.
That's cool. Yeah, we had a cooking event for the holidays at my work. That was fun. It's a good way to like connect with coworkers too that you haven't seen in like the past year. Do they have like a favorite dish of yours that they enjoy?
I don't think there's we make so many different things, so there's not one particular, it's like if you go to a restaurant, it's the same menu all the time. At ours, it's different every day.
Right,
so there's nothing kind of, one particular thing out there.
Nice. All right, what's going in next?
So we're going to add the vinegar and soy sauce. And so this is, again, a matter of preference. I like kind of more soy sauce than, more vinegar than soy sauce. But at the same time, when I do demos, I just do 50-50. So, same amount, like a half cup of vinegar, half cup soy sauce. Okay. And if we need more, we can always add a little bit more. So I have coconut vinegar that I'm using here.
And that's a half a cup?
Half cup. Probably you're going to end up using a cup. We'll probably add more. The liquid is a little bit too much. A little too less.
Okay.
We'll just add.
And it doesn't matter what kind of vinegar?
No, I like the coconut vinegar, but you can use whatever, really. Apple cider vinegar, people have done that. Yep. And then add the bay leaf.
Ooh. Just one?
I have 2. And then peppercorns, probably half teaspoon.
Bay leaves.
And again, so when we're cooking chicken, because it takes, it cooks pretty quickly, I let the sauce braise first. I let this kind of flavors come together. That way, when you put it in, it starts building more flavor once the chicken starts kind of leaching out some of their liquid. But there's a strong flavor that's going in. Whereas, it's different. Like with pork, you're going to cook for, maybe two hours or so. With chicken, you're talking about maybe 15, 20 minutes, depending on how thick it is.
Okay.
So I let it just kind of let it braise for a little bit, maybe like 5-10 minutes or so. That way the flavors are starting to build up.
Now you just only put vinegar in, right?
I put the soy sauce. I put them both. Soy sauce and vinegar.
Okay. So you did do soy sauce.
Yeah.
And it was how much soy sauce?
1-to-1. So if you put a cup of vinegar, put a cup of soy sauce.
Okay. I know we were debating earlier whether we were going to use the soy sauce or not versus the coconut milk.
Because the original kind of, and for the people that were, the original kind of intent was to make a coconut adobo, and we can do that right now. Why don't we do that? I can show you that and show you kind of how simple it is too. But that was the original, and I guess I sent the wrong recipe. I sent a regular adobo recipe instead of kind of the coconut adobo recipe. And so we're going to kind of do a little bit of we'll do 2 recipes in one, and you can kind of see how the difference is for each of them.
Okay.
Since I was prepared for that, at least that's the bonus you guys are getting today. 2 in 1.
That's kind of like what you said, though. You kind of make it your own, and you kind of test out different ingredients and decide how much more or less of something that you like.
Yeah, like I said, the main thing is kind of, like I said, starting with a base, and that's, you just kind of have to start with it. Like, when you follow a recipe, cook the recipe as is. And if you find out you don't like it, or you can find kind of different ways to approach it, do that the next time around. That's how you make it yours, and not kind of having the follow the book and the recipes and how it's done all the time.
Hey, Dom, question.
Yep.
You don't marinate your chicken?
You can. I don't. You know, so like this is simple food. If you want it right away, you can do it. If you have the time and you have the energy, sure, go ahead. Marinate. You can do, like I said, whatever you like, but it works this way. And even when we're saying that, you know, what makes it good is kind of having it the next day too, right? So in terms of, you know, eating it, just make a lot and kind of save it for the next day as it gets better.
Smelling good. How are you guys doing? That's cooking. Smelling good over there?
Sizzling. It smells
I
delicious.
know.
And that's so all I'm doing with this particular one, it's like just building the flavor a little bit, just getting the flavors combined. Because, you know, the bay leaf needs time, you know, especially when it's a dry bay leaf. And if you're using fresh, you know, you could use fresh as well. But you want to kind of like get the flavors all together. Because once you get it in, once you get the chicken in, that's where it's going to kind of penetrate it. And that's all you're pretty much looking at.
Smelling good.
No, but there's, you know, Susie, there is a slight kind of sweetness to it once it kind of reduces down a little bit from the coconut vinegar. You're not going to get kind of the flavor of it, but you'll taste the difference.
My mom is
Sorry.
asking if you use ginger.
I don't. I've done it, you know, I've done it in my restaurant when I used to do the adobo eggplant. It was a very kind of gingery
Yum. That sounds good.
adobo.
I've had Fob Kitchen does a like a mushroom tofu, I think, adobo. That's really good too. Shout out to Fob Kitchen in Oakland if you guys have ever been. If you haven't been, it's really good. Leslie says that she loved that eggplant adobo.
She traveled far and wide for it.
Where's Leslie at? Where are you joining from?
They're in
We're
DC.
from DC area. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So it's like past dinner time for you guys.
We're big fans of Chef Dominic.
We saw your note on the raffle. Thanks for joining. So Nathan is asking, is this the same process you would do for adobong pusit?
Yes, I would. Yes. But you know, you have to find the, you know, like the fresh squid and not kind of that frozen that's already cleaned. You need the, you know, the dirty, earthy ones.
Where can you find good fresh squid around here?
Asian markets.
Yeah.
You know, it's usually the Asian markets that carry everything. And so, you know, once you kind of smell it, you can smell the kind of the bay leaf out there.
Right.
You know, then you can start adding the meat.
Do you have a preference on what parts of the chicken that you use?
I like thighs. I mean, it doesn't kind of feel dry, you know. So this is thighs that were cut up. And you can go big, you can go small, you can go boneless. I mean, this is, you know, pretty much a universal dish in regards to how it's made. So let me save this piece.
So my mom likes to take the skin off the chicken. Do you have an opinion on that?
You can't argue with mothers at all. So that's the number one rule.
It's your personal preference.
I like whatever. Throw it all in.
Yeah. Well, the skin's supposed to add some flavor to it from a little bit of the fat, right?
Yeah, you're gonna get some flavor, but that's all flavor, you know. And like I said, we're talking about like I said, we're talking about history. We're talking about a country that's considered a third world country. It is a third world country. So in terms of like anything you're wasting, you know, it's a commodity, you know.
Right.
And so even cooking, sinigang, sometimes I'll cook it with the rice washings, for a body of the thickness from the rice starch, So you try not to kind of waste anything.
So my sauce looks like it has reduced a lot more than yours.
Oh, then just add a little water.
Water? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's do 2 at once. I'm going to move this, and then we're going to start I'll show you how to do how I do the coconut adobo.
That sounds good too. Except I don't know if I have another pan.
No, it's fine. This is just my, all we're basically doing, and it's the thing with the demo. All we're basically doing is waiting for this to cook. So you're generally done. We might have to finish it with a little bit of salt or whatever, but this is a done dish. We cover it, let it cook a little bit, and then you're ready to go. Taste it, see if you need some salt, and that's that's basically what it is. And that's the thing with demos. Sometimes you're just kind of waiting and waiting for something to happen. So this is in terms of you waiting for something to happen. Here's another dish. So let's do that.
Nice.
And so this is a simple dish. And I have kind of everything ready because I was planning on doing this already. So let me grab one thing. Just give me 1 sec. Okay, so this dish, I like this dish because it's just kind of a simple, like, really fast dish if you need something, last minute. And that's why I think we can do this really quick. And so it's literally the same ingredients, except you switch the soy sauce for the coconut milk. And then this even more so that you can just kind of take all your items, and then what we're going to do is blend them all together. So garlic, peppercorns, coconut milk. Can you see this? Yeah.
Are you using a food processor, or you're just collecting it all together right now?
I'm going to put it in a blender.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'll do like a half cup vinegar. And that's what, your adobo pretty much is vinegar. So no matter what it is, there was really never soy sauce in adobo until kind of the Chinese came, and that was, what they brought. But ultimately, you're talking about what, in terms of vinegar, that's what we're looking at. And so I'm just going to take this and just kind of blend it.
So you said it's a can of coconut milk, a half a cup of vinegar, and the peppercorns.
Peppercorn, garlic. You can add a bay leaf too if you like.
Okay.
So this is, again, a simple braise. So I have some chicken still. And then we're just going to pour this in. Just enough to cover it. Doesn't have to be the whole thing. Because what we're going to do is we're going to cook it down, and then we're going to reduce it a little bit. And so what we're going to get is like this coating around the chicken from the coconut milk. And I will actually add a little bit of fish sauce, just for some saltiness.
So
Chef
just
Dom, what kind of coconut milk are you using?
Thai coconut milk, just
Brand.
regular. I use light. But any coconut milk except like coconut cream. Coconut milk, with the water or whatever. If you're using coconut cream, you're going to have to add liquid to it.
Do we
And
add onions too?
you can, but for this one, I didn't.
Okay, perfect.
So are you cooking this too?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh.
try it too.
Oh, okay, perfect. So like this one, you're waiting for the chicken to cook, but you can also use cooked chicken in this. The sauce is generally ready, and all you want to do is reduce it. You're not kind of waiting for it, but you want to kind of get some of that flavor in it. And a good finish for this also is making it spicy. Jalapenos in this, or I'll finish with a little sambal or something like that, and that always makes it kind of good because you're also talking about reducing the coconut milk for a little bit of sweetness.
Jalapenos. Just a shout out really quick. We have raffle prizes. So, today's event was free, but we appreciate any donations you have for Yfpa and our scholarship program. So Julianne has put that in the chat. So we've got the raffles online through our website, and then there's also a list for the prizes too. And one of the prizes is a personal lesson with Chef Dominic. So maybe you might have a little private party or private Zoom for you and your friends with Chef Dominic. We've got some yummy prizes from Tita Pearl. We've got a YFPA shirt as well. There's a $50 DoorDash gift card from Sam Baclini of Allstate. So please support our raffle. Again, the links are in the chat, and we'll do the raffle closer towards the end of the hour. So thanks for your support, everyone. And Leslie likes it spicy.
Yeah, spicy, especially with coconut milk. It goes really good with coconut milk because that creaminess kind of helps spread it, and it also kind of gives that cooling down too. So it works perfectly with this dish.
Now, someone is asking, what kind of rice is best with adobo?
I like jasmine.
Yeah. I like coconut rice, but maybe not for adobo.
And so, with this, if the chicken's too thick, we just cover it. You don't want it to reduce just yet. Let it kind of cover until it kind of cooks, and then you can pull it out to reduce. Or, because but if it reduces too fast, just add a little bit of water too. So there's different approaches for this, and there's not one. But something like this, you want to reduce it down just to get the thickness, but at the same time, you still want to cook the chicken. So, the first priority is always cooking the chicken first. So if you have to, either just kind of cover it out so that you won't get all the steam coming out or any of the evaporation, or you just kind of, wait it out, add a little bit more water later on as well. So there's a couple things you can do with that in terms of options. You can always save it. But, like I said, with chicken and these pieces, we cut pretty small, it's going to cook pretty quickly. So
Nathan Bohol is asking, ever tried using, I can't pronounce that, tanglad with the coconut adobo, lemongrass?
No, I haven't done it. He's more deep Tagalog than me, or deep Filipino than me.
Sounds yummy. Are you chef too, Nathan?
Yes, he is.
Okay. Where does Nathan work at?
He's a Googler.
Oh, you guys are both tech chefs.
Yeah.
Very cool. Now wait, is Nathan over in the East Coast?
No, Nathan's in Sunnyvale.
Oh, okay.
I'm in Sunnyvale here at the Google campus over here. I used to work with Chef Dom He's actually one of my favorite mentors.
Yay.
Although he listened to me and blamed me for getting, that's another story.
So Nathan, are you also doing like online cooking for some of your teams at Google?
Yeah, we do the same thing, but we're more at the moment. We are actually opened up right now, so I'm on site most of the time. But I do food chats, like different kinds of food chats, like demos and gardening stuff.
Cool.
He's got a great garden and he cooks all the time.
Yeah.
And so you just have to follow him on Instagram.
Yeah, Dominic and I were talking the other day because you said you're returning back to work. So obviously the kitchens at the tech companies are going to be different. Nothing buffet, right? So you guys have to serve everything to the employees.
That seems to be the plan for now, yeah. But it may,
Yeah.
everything seems to be changing kind of all the time. So
Right. Yeah, we started having catered lunches that come in individual boxes. So we're not exactly being kind to the earth right now.
yeah.
But we're getting really good food served to us.
See, even right now, most of the chicken's probably cooked at least 3/4 of the way. The sauce is still reducing a little bit, And like I said, if you need more time on this, just add a little bit of water or even chicken stock on that, man. Just to kind of make sure of it. And then, the question sometimes is, how do you tell if it's cooked? You can temp it, you can open it. It's your food. You can just kind of like crack it open. For us in the restaurant, sometimes you have to kind of use a thermometer, but you'll see even people just kind of give it a pinch, open it up in the middle, and see if it's done.
It smells good. Who else is cooking? Just Charity? Anybody else cooking?
I'm cooking, but not adobo.
Yes,
What are you cooking, Nathan?
I'm actually air frying some pork that I'm making lechon kawali kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
So I boil the pork and then I'm air frying it. It's a lot easier.
That sounds good. All right. One quick announcement while this is cooking. In honor of Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, we have another event next week, which is our self-defense class event on the 26th. That is in collaboration with Faster. So Charity's on, she could talk a little bit about Faster, but Escabudan is a Filipino martial arts company over based in San Francisco, but they have different sites as well. And with everything going on right now with Asian hate crimes, we just thought together as community partners, we wanted to have an event to help support the community. And it's open to all ages. Invite your parents, your friends, your family. Just get a lot of knowledge and be aware when it comes to self-defense. I've taken one of their classes before a couple years ago, and I was doing more activities in the city at the time, and I just felt just a lot more aware of my surroundings, especially on BART or you're walking through places like the TL. So please join us for the online self-defense class. It is donation-based. Any amount that you can help us out with, those will go towards Yfpa, Faster, Escabudan, and also support with Stop Asian Hate org as well. And if you guys want to find out more about Chef Dominic, we've put the blog in the chat. You could check out more about Dominic and where he's been and where he's at. So how's the adobo looking?
Looking good.
Anything else we should add to it?
No, I think, for this one, once you kind of get closer to, where you feel it's at, or where, where if the chicken's done or not, then this is where you kind of taste everything. And like I said, you can just kind of give it a pinch, see if it's cooked all the way inside. That's another way of just kind of checking it. But, depending on how much soy sauce you add, or even the type of soy sauce you add, because look, this is even a pretty dark soy sauce that we got. But like a regular, like Kikkoman's, a little bit lighter, But you want to try, you want to taste it, kind of taste it near the end, and then see if it's where you want it. If it's a little too salty, add a little bit of water. If if it needs salt, add some, because like I said, sometimes I like more vinegar. I like it a little more sour, and so I'll add a little bit more salt to it. But for this one, it's fine. I like it. It turned out fine. So.
And you were saying if you want to make it spicy, you could put jalapenos.
Jalapeno, any spice you like, to add to it.
Might experiment with that.
And then, like I said, there's different approaches for this. People will thicken the sauce to have it coat, and other people will kind of cook the sauce all the way out, so it's just kind of left with nothing almost. So it's like I said, it becomes how you like it, how you want to do it. I can give you the base, a simple recipe on kind of how to get started, and you can kind of finish it however you want in terms of what ingredients you want to do, however you want to do it. The difference with like chicken, it can cook in this broth. With pork, you may have to cover it and cook it a little bit longer and not have everything kind of evaporate all the way, because you want to make sure the pork's cooked, and that's going to take a little bit longer than chicken. And so that's, those are the differences between the two. And sometimes, people like I like pork and chicken adobo together, but you have to start with kind of the pork and kind of add the chicken later on. But to braise. But I think that's one of my favorites, is adding them two together, because you get that richness from the pork, and then the chicken's kind of there to help give it that, carry that flavor with you too.
Everything smells so good right now. All right. Any questions, comments for Chef Dominic? How do you plate your adobo?
Let's say I put it in a bowl. And for me, I'm not. If there's one thing I don't like doing, is making the food look pretty. I just make it taste good.
Just eat it.
Just eat it. You're at home. You don't need to dress it up too much.
I like rice, but my family has kind of moved to quinoa. It's a little different, but it's on the healthier side.
Yeah, even brown rice. I like brown rice. That's even kind of just as healthy sometimes too.
The brown jasmine rice from Trader Joe's is one of my favorites. It's pretty good. It cooks well.
Yeah, so I like the brown, kind of short grain, kind of the heavier ones, the thicker ones.
Ah, okay. Yep. All right. Well, thank you so much, Chef Dominic.
We're almost time.
So while we are getting ready to plate our adobo, just a reminder that we've got our raffle. We're going to be doing the raffle in a couple of minutes. So last call to win fabulous prizes. We've got, again, the grand prize of Chef Dominic's personal chef lesson, either online or small group at a place of your choice, keeping in mind of social distance and masking and vaccinations. We've got a Yfpa t-shirt as well. We've got a store online. So if you guys even want to purchase things that help support Yfpa and our scholarship program as well. And Tita Pearl's got some yummy items for us also. She's got empanadas and bagoong, banana ketchup, vinegar. So shout out to Tita Pearl. Thank you so much, Tita. And Sam Baclini from All States donated a $50 DoorDash gift card. So if you don't want to cook, you could just order and get DoorDash sent to your house. So
just have them bring it over.
Yeah. So let's give it just one more minute for the raffle. You guys can go online. Someone wants to put the link to the raffle again in the chat, and we will be pulling the raffle tickets in just 1 minute. Any other questions for Chef Dominic? So Chef Dominic, you've been working at Facebook for how long?
I've been there for 8 years now, I guess.
Wow, it's been that long.
Yeah, it's been that long.
Wow.
But even when I was there, I was still finishing off Mercury. I was at Addict at the same time.
Right.
And so there was a lot of kind of closures before I kind of moved into that.
Yeah. 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 You bounced around from like Betelnut, like you said, you've kind of followed the other chefs that you've done
Yeah,
working
yeah,
with.
I definitely kind of, I went to Redwood City because one of the chefs from Betelnut was there. I started with Polang, and then I followed Tim, the chef over there, kind of wherever he went, as well, besides kind of doing my own
Yep.
at the same time.
A lot of hustling.
So that's generally what it's all about
Yeah.
sometimes,
Polling,
it's definitely
Polling Lounge was fun back in the day. That was
yeah,
fun. Good
yeah.
stuff. Looks good. Hope your guys' adobo looks good
yeah.
too at home.
You can see it kind of like, this like thick kind of sauce that's kind of with it, and that's what you're almost looking for. Even with even more, thicker if you want to reduce it even more. But I mean, you can even say that this is generally done. But you see, it's kind of coated, and it's not like it running through.
Looks yummy.
So, oops. And then you can just kind of let this even like thicken out a little bit more, and you'll know it when you see kind of smaller bubbles.
Yeah, mine's looking good. Charity, how's your adobo looking?
Good. I'm trying to buy raffle tickets.
Oh, okay. I won't disturb you.
I'm multitasking. It's looking delicious though. I'm ready to eat it.
Yeah, I forgot to make rice.
Yeah, you know what? I'm so used to not doing kind of like non-Filipino that literally I kept thinking that's got to be the first thing you always tell people.
Don't
Start with the rice. Yeah.
Don't need a measuring cup. You just use your finger.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try and I don't know if you guys can see mine. There's my adobo. It looks good.
But like I said before, you anytime you guys are cooking, before you pull out, just give it a taste. So that's when you want to kind of season it. You can do it during, but as I tell people when they start cooking, you just want to kind of do it at the end,
right?
Because you can tend to put too much if you're not used to it. So just kind of start it at the end. See, here you go. So here, it's kind of nice and thick.
It's good. Muster up. Thank you so much, Chef Dominic. Appreciate it.
No problem. So this is mine.
Yay! That's amazing.
Oh, that looks so good.
See the see kind of the thickness of it, just kind of as it drips. It's from the coconut milk, so
yummy. All right, thank you so much. We hope to connect with you again soon, hopefully in person sometime. I still haven't checked out Capua Garden, so I hope we can get an event there once we kind of open up a little bit more. So
yeah, I know there's like there's an adobo cook-off that I generally signed up for, but I wasn't even sure if I was going to. But I think Tim's going to be there as well.
Cool. You'll have to let us know when it is. Maybe we'll come join you.
I have to know when it is because he keep asking me to take a picture for it already.
All right, cool. Well, thank you so much. It's top of the hour, so we're going to need to do the raffle so you guys can get a chance to win these prizes. So maraming salamat po, Chef Dominic. I really appreciate you taking the time with us today and celebrating Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month with us.
No problem.
Thank you. All right, we're going to bring up Julianne Sison, who's going to help us with our online raffle. And Jordan has the slides with the prizes again. So you want to bring those up, Jordan? I think actually. All right, so let's walk through our prizes again while Julianne gets the raffle set up to go. So what do we have again, Jordan? We've got the Allstate donated $50 DoorDash gift card, the Yfpa t-shirt, and we've got Tita Pearl's empanadas, pancit balabong, banana ketchup, and cucamongo vinegar. And oh, she's got a gift basket too. Tita Pearl is just full of love. Thank you, Tita Pearl, for all these wonderful prizes. And shout out again to Chef Dominic for your personal cooking lesson. So, Julianne, are you ready for the raffle? All right. Thank you guys so much for joining. It's been a pleasure seeing everyone online again. And again, if you could join us next week, we've got our self-defense class with Escabodan. And Charity, you want to say shout out for Faster? You guys are co-hosting as well. You want to tell us a little bit about Faster?
Yes, sure. Hi, everyone. So Faster is an organization that supports Filipinos in tech. And especially we have some different pillars. One is education. So we have a mentorship program. The other is we support employee resource groups. So there are a lot of Filipino resource groups, including Filipinos at Facebook, Salesforce Ohana, Netflix Kababayan, and lots of fun ones. So, and then the other is just networking. So continuing to find ways that we can network as professionals. And we have different events throughout the year, including next week's event, which is our safety event with YFPA for, making sure that you all have some skills to know how to defend yourself with YFPA. So very excited to do that. Yep. Looking forward to more partnerships and hope to see you all next week.
Yep. Please invite your friends and family, your parents, grandparents. We got to protect our Asian brothers and sisters out there because it's crazy right now. So I've taken a self-defense class with Escabodan before, very informative, really heightens your awareness wherever you are and reminding ourselves to be safe and even just using, common items as self-defense weapons like a pencil or your keys. So we're going to be excited for that event next week. And hopefully at some point when Facebook opens up, Dominic, we can have an event there and have a big YFPA ERG party with Faster and Facebook maybe at some point.
Yep, maybe.
Yeah, we'll have to stay connected. All right, thank you guys for joining. It's good to see everybody. Enjoy your chicken adobo. Take a picture, put it on Instagram. Shout out to YFPA and Chef Dominic, and we will see you guys again, hopefully next week. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Maraming salamat po. Happy AAPI Heritage Month. Thank you again. It looks good, Charity.
Thanks, Chef Dom.
Hey, Charity. Where's the other one? Is that the one of them? Did you do both the other set?
The other one is still cooking. I'm still I'm behind on that one because I was buying raffle tickets.
No worries.
I'll take a picture.
Yes, let's share it. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.